Hello, my wonderful subscribers out there and those who are itching to subscribe, and all the wonderful viewers of Marriage Without Tears channel. This is another awesome opportunity for us to deliver on some of the tidbits, some of the things you need to do to make your marriage more prosperous and more blissful. It's another opportunity, so I welcome you all to this edition. We are looking at the issue of trust betrayal. When trust is betrayed in a marriage, what can a spouse do? We have had so many situations whereby trust is betrayed. As you know, marriage is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey. And in the journey of marriage, a whole lot of things happen. Couples go into marriage with a lot of celebration, a lot of expectations. But over a period of time, some certain things can happen that can cause the trust level to go down. Some certain actions or attitudinal behaviors of your spouses, of your partners, can cause the trust level to be thrown overboard. That is what we are looking at tonight. However, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately. There's a red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed and be part of this awesome family. My name once again is Felix Okeke. I am your marriage counselor and coach. Trust, like you know, is a very essential part of any relationship. Without trust, the basis of that union is no longer there. Without trust, the union becomes irrelevant. Without trust, the union cannot meet expectations. It cannot meet set targets and objectives. Without trust, then the couple cannot afford to be vulnerable before themselves. They can no longer be able to reveal some certain things which is part and parcel of their lives. Without trust, the essential ingredient in the union is gone. And that is why when trust is betrayed in a relationship, it is very difficult for it to be recovered. We must very well worry of that. We must not allow our trust level to be thrown off. Once it happens, then the relationship is in jeopardy. I believe after this very particular edition that you will do whatever it takes to do what? To cement the trust in your marriage, to cause the trust level in your marriage to grow instead of going down. In my years of experience as a counselor, I have come across so many cases of betrayal of trust. Let me give you three scenarios. A man and a woman had been working at their marriage. They have been enjoying a fruitful and blissful marriage. But after a period of 5 years, the man discovered that when he went out of town for some business, that his wife was cohorting with a young man, and for whatever is what, they were in a relationship. And he didn't understand it because he was providing all the needed funding. He was actually funding his marriage. The money was there. He was buying the woman everything that she ever desired. Everything was there in the marriage. The woman had cars to herself, she had drivers to herself, she had all manner of things that make marriage joyful. But somehow, she still stepped out of their marriage to have conjugal relationships with others, started having boyfriends outside, to the chagrin of the young man. That was a betrayal of trust. There was also a second scenario a couple of years ago. A couple came to see me, and somehow it was not about them. The problem was not actually about them. It was the extended relationship. It was the sisters and the brothers of the young man that was having the problem with the man's wife. Now, instead of the man siding his wife, he took sides with his siblings. And this is a woman who was looking forward to a man that she can come under, that can be a kind of umbrella to cover her in times of despair, to cover her in times of error, to cover her at every given moment. Now, instead of that man providing a covering unto her, the man took away the covering and took sides with his siblings against her. Suddenly, she was like a stranger when she should be part and parcel of the man. She was being treated like a stranger. That was a betrayal of trust. There is yet a third factor. These people were earning money, they were earning salaries, they were doing very well in their various professions. But somehow, instead of the woman bringing her own money to help the man, to augment the man's income in order to raise a formidable family, the woman was spending all her own income on her own inodities, irrelevant things, painting her fingers, putting eyelashes, doing all manner of things, getting out on, all out parties, partying with her friends, while the man was busy spending the money on the rest of the family. So the man felt betrayed because the woman that was supposed to be a kind of rock of support unto him is no longer providing that support. The woman is living like a spinster while she's in marriage, while the man is busy carrying all the burdens of the family. The woman does not really care about what is happening in the family. So those are trust factors, trust levels that are being betrayed on a daily basis. I'll still give you a fourth one. The fourth one, a woman went out there, and while she, in the course of her duty, she fell on, the wrong side of the law. And before you know it, the police officer slapped her and started kicking her up and down. And as a matter of fact, she sustained a lot of physical injuries. Now, bloodied and everything, she headed to her home, hoping perhaps that when she encounters the husband in anger will challenge the authorities. But do you know what the husband did? The husband looked at her and said, "Go inside and clean up yourself. What's wrong with you? You want me to go and fight police? I cannot do anything about it. It's you that went out. Maybe you accosted them. Maybe." The man didn't even care to find out actually what transpired. At that moment in time, the woman felt totally betrayed. It's like, I don't have a defender. It's like I'm on my own. It's like if anything happens to me, I am simply on my own. I don't have a husband who will defend me. That was a betrayal of trust. Trust are being betrayed constantly on different levels and on different terms. Sometimes you find people who can no longer afford to be vulnerable between themselves simply because certain information that was being revealed to the spouse was being used against them in the place of conflict. Maybe one quarrels or arguments occur. Instead of facing the issue as the partner will use the same issue that was revealed unto him by a confident, a faithful spouse. You still use that issue to throw at him or throw at her. At that point in time, trust level has been betrayed. The capacity to be vulnerable is no longer there. At the end of it all, everybody starts protecting his or her own turf. That is as a result of betrayal of trust. It can happen, and it's happening in marriages every day. These are trust factors in a relationship that are being betrayed. Now, we're going to look at what you need to do when you find yourself in such a situation. But before we go into that, please look at this red button by my side, click on it, get subscribed, and be part of this awesome channel. Now, what can you do as a partner who is in a relationship? You don't want to leave your partner because of a betrayal of trust, but you want to sit back there and make sure that these things are remedied with time. What can you do as a partner that finds himself or herself in such an ugly situation? Number one, I want you to begin to have a very forgiving spirit, a forgiving heart. You must develop that attitude, the capacity to forgive your partner when such an event happens, not holding on to it, not holding on to that betrayal for too long. Because the moment you start holding on to that betrayal for too long, it will impact negatively on your relationship. When you start holding it for too long, a lot of acidic content comes into that relationship, and the relationship by itself is messed up. So you must have that forgiving heart, that attitude of tolerance that is able to look at it, at the negative aspect of your spouse, and be able to also accept his or her own negative side. And not just accepting it, but waking up to the reality that in every relationship there's a negative and there's a positive aspect. There's a weakness and there is a strength. And we must all try as much as possible to work towards, healing the weaknesses of our spouse. If, for instance, you are in a relationship where your partner is having conjugal relationships with other people outside, all you need to do actually is to call that partner in a heart-to-heart discussion. Call that partner. Open up your hearts to him or to her or him. Open up your hearts to one another. Talk Maybe there are some certain things that are missing in your relationship, which that partner is trying to get from the outside. I know of a man who was providing all for his wife, bought cars for her, bought the best of jewelries for her, bought clothes for her, all manner of wares, was doing all manner of things to see to the welfare of the wife. But each time he goes on a business trip abroad, he doesn't come back until about 2-3 weeks. Because of that, the woman was feeling left, was feeling lonely at home. And despite all the things the man was doing for her, she still decided to go and get somebody outside who became her boyfriend in the end. When the man eventually found out, it didn't go that well with him. It was a torturous journey for both of them at a certain point in time. I thank God that they sought for therapy, and right now they are being healed in that aspect. So, what are we saying really? Develop this heart to uncover why these things are happening. Sometimes your spouse may decide to use your vulnerability against you, may decide to use certain information which you gave to him or her in trust, and is using that information against you because there is a hidden inferiority complex. There's a hidden agenda somewhere. He doesn't know, or she doesn't know any other way to bring you down, to make you angry, to feel the impact of his words, except to use that against you. It's about inferiority complex. It's a complex really, and you must begin to wake up to that reality as a person, begin to see how you can help to alleviate that inferiority, how you can open up the heart of such a man or such a woman on the dangers that are posed by such an attitude. So these are things you must do as a couple. These are things you must do. If you also discover, for instance, that as a man, you are busy struggling how to fend for your family, but your woman does not actually care because she feels that her own resources belong to her. She doesn't want to be, it doesn't want to partner with you, it doesn't want to support you, and you are feeling betrayed in your relationship. All you need to do is possibly to seek for counsel, seek for therapy. Take her to somewhere, or begin to cultivate this attitude of going for marriage seminars, marriage retreats, and seeking therapy. Maybe in that process she'll be able to understand, she will catch that revelation that she's in that marriage for something bigger than what she thought. So these are things that you must do. These are things you must do to elevate the level of trust in your relationship, because trust is very essential. And if you allow that trust to be betrayed continually and you don't do anything about it, the relationship is as good as gone. I believe, God, that you have had a little bit of what we are saying tonight. And please, once again, before you check out from this channel, look at this red button by your side, click on it and get subscribed and be part of Marriage Without Tears channel. I thank God for giving you the audacity to listen to this very topic. And I believe that you are not just a listener, but you will also do some of the things we have pointed out tonight. May God bless you, and may the Lord also bless your family and your marriage. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.